Good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to CBBC's China's Digital Consumer 2020 webinar series. My name is Maxime. I'm the Service Delivery Executive here at CBBC, and today I'm joined by Zhong Rees, the Sales and Marketing Manager at Creatilogic Culture Media Ltd. Today we're talking about all things video marketing and how to use video marketing to target your China market. Very quickly, before we get started, just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. You should have a panel such as this on your screen. This is your GoToWebinar panel. On the left, you will see a small hand button. I'd be really grateful if everybody could give me a hands up, and that will let me know that you can hear and see us. We have our webcam switched on today. So yeah, if you give me a hands up, that will let me know that everything's working before we get on with the webinar. I've also circled here our questions box. Please do ask questions. We want to make this a very engaging experience for everybody. If you have a burning question that pops into your mind during the presentation, you can just type this into the drop-down questions box and send that across. I will collect these and we will address all of our questions in our Q&A at the end. And also a little bit about CBBC, for those of you who don't know. CBBC is the China-Britain Business Council. This is the leading organisation supporting UK-China trade. Here in the UK, we have offices across the country supporting different regions and industry sectors. Here in the consumer team, we support the agriculture, food and drink, retail, and of course the e-commerce digital service members as well. Over in China, we have 13 offices across the country. These are covering first-tier cities including Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen and Guangzhou. And we also have a presence in a variety of second and third-tier cities as well. Our wonderful China team are over there on the ground supporting British businesses breaking into or developing their China market. CBBC are also offering a free 13-minute video consultation with an experienced CMBA as well. You can find out more about this service on the CBBC website. But without further ado, I'm super happy to introduce our speaker today. This is Zhong Rees. As I said, she's the Sales and Marketing Manager at Creatilogic Culture Media Ltd. Jenny has extensive experiences in the media and communication sector. She formerly held position as a producer and presenter for Phoenix TV, and she is a regular contributor to national and regional newspapers and online media outlets in China. Having gained an MBA from Imperial College London and an MA in International Journalism, she combines creative flair with business acumen to deliver influential video marketing campaigns. I've also included here Jenny's QR code for LinkedIn, so please don't hesitate to give that a scan and you can add her on LinkedIn and follow up with any questions. But right now I'm going to hand over the screen to Jenny, and welcome Jenny.
Thank you very much, Maxine, and thank you for CBBC for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. Hello, I'm Jenny, and it's a pleasure to meet you all, and welcome to my webinar. I hope everyone is feeling rejuvenated now the lockdown measures are going to be eased this weekend. So in the past few months, all of us had plenty of time to reflect and probably rethink about the strategy we had at the beginning of the year. COVID has brought huge disruption to our way of life and to almost all industries. However, the companies that's invested in strong digital presence fared so much better than those ones who haven't. So in China, although the whole economy has suffered a massive blow, the e-commerce sector still remained buoyant. Unlike the rest of the world, in China, the e-commerce sector is significantly driven by video marketing, especially through short video platforms and live streaming. So for Western brands, it's really important to understand the short video and just the video landscape in China in general, and find out which ones are the best to suit you and your business. So I'm going to guide you through the video landscape in China today, share my knowledge, and hopefully help you make the most of the opportunities over there in China in this exciting space. So let's delve right in. So today's webinar is going to consist of 4 parts. First of all, a little bit about who we are. And secondly, why do you need video marketing? In the third part, I'm going to talk about who are the major players in the Chinese video market. Last but not least, in the fourth part, I'll share some tips on how to get started with video marketing. So we are Creatilogic Culture Media Ltd, and we have a bilingual team of film specialists who can manage the video production process from initial conception all the way to completion. And we're capable of formulating video strategy, creative idea generation, writing script, filming, editing, special effects, all the way to final delivery. And our resources, including in-house specialists, we also have access to a diverse range of award-winning international talents. So it depends on the scope and budget of your project. We're capable of a small camera operation to a full budget film production. And all our films are shot on Arri Alexas, a Red Apex or Sony A7R to ensure the best quality of image. The types of video we do, but not limited to, are corporate video, documentary, commercial, explainer, MTV, animation, events, short video. Although the company is quite young, we've worked with quite a few famous names in the industry already in both UK and China. So these are the list of the companies, some of the companies we've worked with. That include Manchester City Football Club, Aston Martin, Harrods, Sotheby International Realty, etc. in the UK. And in China, we've worked with SPD Bank, Hainan Airlines, and so on and so forth. So now I'd like to share with you a short show reel of what we've produced before. So welcome to our movie room. Why don't you have a sip of your tea, sit back and enjoy. Hi, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that montage. So from the images, you can probably see that the sectors we've worked with are mostly travel, retail, luxury, entertainment, finance, property, etc. So whilst we'd like to continue to work with the sectors, we'd like to also explore our opportunity of collaborating with a wider range of sectors, including healthcare, law, technology, e-commerce, agency, and others. Because we firmly believe that almost all industries can benefit from video marketing. So if you haven't included video in your content making strategy, it's time to think about it and take action. So on this note, I'm going to the second part of my webinar. Why do you need video marketing? So a video puts a face to a name and people like to buy from people. So if your video manages to ignite emotions and build a sense of trust from people, they feel much more connected to you and much more likely to buy from you. The picture on the left is Jack Ma, the founder of the world's biggest e-commerce company, Alibaba. And he participated in the live stream contest in 2018 as part of the Chinese Singles Day mega sale event on Alibaba's e-commerce platform. So in the contest, Jack Ma squared off against 5 different experts in Alibaba's supply chain. One of the contests is to sell lipsticks. That's why in this picture, he is holding a lipstick. So in this contest, he took on China's lipstick king, and the man who sold the most lipstick in China, Li Jiaqi. So they had a competition between themselves. Sure enough, Li Jiaqi sold about 1,000 in a very short space of time, and Jack Ma only sold 10, so losing big time. However, this video went viral. Even today, people are still talking about it. Yeah, Jack Ma also lost in all other 4 competitions, but Singles Day sales achieved $30.7 billion for Alibaba. That's really a good consolation prize, one would say. The reason I cited this example is because it's a really lovely example about why video can help you build rapport with your audience and convert them into customers. I also gathered some statistics about the effectiveness of video marketing. So video constitutes 50% of mobile wireless network traffic, and viewers can retain 95% of the message compared with only 10% from reading in text. If you put a video in the email subject line, the click-through rate would increase by 13%. And in this world dominated by social media, social video generates more than 1,200% shares than text and image combined. That's really impressive. And increased sales lead to increased engagement lead to sales. If you have an embed video in your website, it can increase the traffic by up to 55%. And people who visit a business website are much more likely, actually are 64% likely to buy their products after watching a video. Marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. So these are the statistics of a survey of 656 marketing professionals and online consumers worldwide. But now let's dive into China and see how video is shaping up the online landscape over there. In the last 10 years, the internet coverage had increased exponentially in China. It actually increased 5 times. Nowadays, China has 900 million internet users. And this has provided a perfect breeding ground for online video platforms. And actually, you might have heard there's a thing called the Great Firewall of China. So it's the Chinese government put a restriction on some of the foreign sites. For example, in 2008, Chinese government blocked YouTube from many of the Chinese internet users. And then Facebook and Vimeo are not available in China as well. So this fends off a lot of foreign competitors and give the Chinese local video portals opportunity to rise and to develop rapidly. Out of the 900 million internet users in China, 850 million are video users. So UK has a population of 66 million, so that's about 13 times of UK's entire population. It's a huge user base. And there's no doubt video is the fastest growing form of content making in China. The instant messaging, search and online news, watching video ranked number 4 in online activities. And this has made a lot of short video platforms super rich. Revenue of the online video market in China was 125.8 billion yuan, and that's the equivalent of 14 billion British pounds. And that's double the revenue of 2016. So to understand why video forms video platforms become so popular and lucrative, one must understand the modern Chinese consumer trend. First of all, Chinese people spend average 3 hours per day on their smartphones, watching videos, sharing experiences, and sharing online reviews. Product reviews, a big part of it. In the last decade, China's advancing economy has ushered in an era of lifestyle upgrade for Chinese people, and premium goods have become the preferred choice among lots of Chinese consumers. So to them, brand reputation is key. Over the years, there's so many fake goods scandals in China and severely dented consumers' confidence. And after being cheated so many times, they just simply had enough and they want brands they can trust. So that's why word of mouth recommendation are the most effective in China. And people do this through video platforms. Over 75% of Chinese internet users, they post feedback/reviews on the purchases at least once a month. So this is much higher than in the West. And this has led to the rising of KOLs, key opinion leaders, and KOCs, key opinion consumers on the video platforms. So in the third part of today's webinar, I'm going to introduce to you who are the major players in the Chinese video market. So the Chinese video market can be roughly divided into two categories: long-form video and short-form video. Short-form video is anything lost from 10 seconds to 60 seconds. Long-form video could be about 3 to 5 minutes, or even up to an hour, over an hour if it's TV series or movie. And in the long-form video, we have iQIYI, Tencent Video, Bilibili, Youku. These are the famous ones. And the short-form video, there are Douyin, Kuaishou means fast hand in China, Xiaohongshu means little red book in China, Xigua Shiping, that's a watermelon video in China. So these are the significant players in this category. Right, in the past, you can see from this graph, iQIYI and Tencent, who represent the long video category, they were the dominant force about 5 years ago. But in the last few years, the short form video platform really have taken over. You can see Douyin here, although it only arrived in the scene for less than 5 years, but now it's the unequivocal market leader. So this kind of represents a trend of China. The short form video platforms are really rising, are really developing fast and furious. So here are the top 3 players of the long-form video platform category. So iQIYI and Tencent Video are neck to neck, occupying the top two places. Youku is trailing behind, but still has a significant market share. These platforms are backed by the 3 biggest tech giants in China: Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent, so also known as the famous BAT. iQIYI and Tencent Video are the 2 largest subscription-based streaming video platforms in China. iQIYI has 538 million monthly active users, and Tencent Video reached 550 million. Both platforms have been purchasing and producing film, TV drama, and variety shows, and made a significant contribution to China's vibrant entertainment landscape. However, the cost of purchasing and originating content is so high that both of them have been losing about $1 billion a year. Reuters recently reported that Tencent has intention to buy a majority share from iQIYI. And I think such takeover could reduce the running costs and ease off the competition, which sounds like a sensible move, but it's not confirmed yet, so we will wait and see. And the third biggest long-form video platform is called Youku, which is often regarded as the YouTube of China due to its focus on user-generated content in early days. However, Youku is nowadays pivoting towards licensed TV shows and producing original content as well, just like iQIYI and Tencent Video. So if Tencent managed to have a tie-up with iQIYI to create a formidable force in the market, I think Youku's future existence could be threatened. but we'll wait and see. So how do you utilize these platforms for your marketing purposes? There are three main ways. Firstly, is to advertise on the platforms or sponsor their shows. Depends on the popularity of the content. This type of advertising can be very effective for brands, but can be very costly too. These platforms also offer user opportunity to upload their UGC, user-generated content, for free. So if your content generates enough interest, they become appealing to advertisers, and you could earn advertising revenue and share the profit with the platforms. Another practical use of these websites are simply to download and disseminate your content, much like the way we use YouTube and Vimeo here. So you can include the link in marketing emails or embed it on your website, share it on social media platforms, or whichever way you would like to use it. So these are the long-form video major platforms. Now let's look at the short-form video platforms. So these ones, they only arrived in China quite recently. However, the development are just really rapid, and the top platforms are amassing huge following and raking in billions of dollars of revenue a year. Short-form videos are usually 10 to 60 seconds in length, so they're often regarded as the bite-sized entertainment. There are 820 million people, and 7 out of 10 internet users are using these platforms to record and share and enjoy videos in China. Right, so in this page, I've listed the top 3 short-form video platforms in China, which are Douyin, Kuaishou, and Xigua. So I'll introduce them one by one. Speaking of Douyin, many people outside China probably don't know what it is. However, I bet everyone has heard of TikTok if you have not already downloaded it. So TikTok is the international version of Douyin, and it's available in 75 languages. But Douyin is very much in China. It's the local one. So since coming to the market in 2016, in less than 4 years, Douyin and TikTok has really taken China and the rest of the world by storm and became the fastest growing social media platforms in the world. Douyin and TikTok's parent company is ByteDance, the world's biggest startup company valued at $78 billion USD. Douyin's monthly active users are 550 million, and its user demographic are female-dominated from first and second tier cities. Douyin's content are highly entertaining, synonymous with urban and hip culture. And its revenue mostly comes from advertising, but increasingly also from e-commerce commission. Douyin's arch-rival is Kuaishou. In Chinese, it means fast hand. And Kuaishou is owned jointly by Tencent and Alibaba. It has 490 million monthly active users, and they're mostly from third-tier cities and rural areas. And the content appeals to a grassroots society, so that's quite different from Douyin. Sometimes the content can be a bit unrefined, like people seeking cheap thrills, stuff like that. However, this doesn't prevent the app from making the big bucks. In 2019, Kuaishou pulled in a whopping $7.2 billion in revenue, really dwarfed Douyin and TikTok's combined revenue of $177 million. And Kuaishou's revenue mostly comes from live streaming, and it holds an 8% share of the live streaming e-commerce market in China. That's really impressive. The next on the list is Xigua Video, and Xigua means watermelon in Chinese. And this platform is also owned by ByteDance. Xigua was a short-form video platform in the past, but it's gradually moving to long-form, high-quality video space as well. It recently signed deals with BBC and Moonbug to show their contents in China, and also encourage the users to upload their user-generated longer form videos. So it become a little bit similar to YouTube as well. And so this kind of change represent ByteDance's ambition in the long form video market. They're trying to have a strong foothold in that space as well. Right, another video platform that's really worth mentioning is called 小红书, and in English it means Little Red Book. It belongs to an increasingly popular category called social e-commerce, where content and commerce became a match made in heaven. 小红书was established in 2013 and jointly invested by Tencent and Alibaba, just like Kuaishou. And 85% of 小红书users are female and 84% are under the age of 30. So it's not surprising that the most popular categories on the platform are beauty, skincare, fashion, and the growing categories are travel, fitness, and mommy baby. 小红书is a very much content-driven platform with a strong community feel. There are plenty of posts on 小红书that has nothing to do with products or reviews, but are focusing on sharing life advice and life experiences. For example, how to navigate cross-cultural relationships is a hot topic. So if you're a Western brand that's targeting at young, urban, affluent Chinese women, 小红书 is definitely a great platform. Quite a few Western celebrities, including Miranda Kerr, Kim Kardashian, Selena Gomez, and Pamela Reif, are already active on 小红书. So as I said before, these platforms have been generating huge revenues and are really a great, revenue generator, good for the bottom line of the parent companies. But how do they make the big bucks? There are three types of monetization methods. The first one is the synergy. So these platforms, they direct users to e-commerce platforms. For example, Douyin has a partnership with Alibaba's Taobao, which is one of the biggest e-commerce platform in China. And Kuaishou, I think it was last month, just signed alliance with Alibaba's long-term nemesis, JD.com. So they created synergy between these two. And the second type of monetization methods is live broadcasting. As I said before, Kuaishou is the market leader in that. Live broadcasting is the real-time interaction between merchants and shoppers, and the conversion rate can be very high, as high as 30%. So this is kind of leading the market trend in e-commerce right now. And the third type is in-app purchase. So it's integrated content sharing plus purchasing, and 小红书is pioneering in this category. So behind the vibrancy of the short video apps, artificial intelligence is actually the driving force. The three biggest tech giants, Tencent, Baidu, Alibaba, and the dark horse in this space, ByteDance, all invested, developed, or acquired video apps. And then they feed them with artificial intelligence to enable commercialization of content. Unlike the closed platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn here, these platforms, they are open or semi-open. So the machine learning and algorithm can personalize feeds and just recommend to the wider audience. So instead of people looking for content, it's actually content reaching to people. And the machine knows that what you like, and they feed you more of what you like. Right, so now we had a bit of knowledge of China's video landscape. So as brands or as marketers, how do we get started with video marketing in China? I'd like to share some of my knowledge. Right, with most video production, we have three stages: pre-production, production, and production. So during the pre-production stage, it's more about conceptualize what you're going to do. So rather than just upload videos, it's very important to start with a strategy. You have to think carefully, what is the overall goal of your video? Who will be the potential audience? Who is your targeted demographic? And what type of videos you would like to create? Would you like to create a long form video that's very informative, very in-depth, and tell the journey of your company, your story? Or would you like to make some snappy, highly entertaining short videos to catch audience attention, especially targeting at the Generation Z or Millennial? And what are your existing resources? Do you have something that's unique to you that's very appealing to the audience? So maybe if you're a property developer, you've got stunning houses that's picture perfect, or maybe one of your colleagues has a really cute dog that he brings to the office every day, and you can share the funny moments. So it's very important to think about a theme and sort of have the consistent theme in your video. And during the production process, it's very important to avoid that homemade look. Nowadays, everybody's got a smartphone and everybody can just push a button and record. But as a brand, you've got to think about your image. So your videos need to look very professional and polished. And if you have high quality video, the recommendation mechanism in Douyin or other platforms, they're much more likely to push your video out and to engage with many more audiences. And it's important to have a script and storyboard before you go shoot the video as well. You need to shoot the footage step by step according to the script and storyboard. And when you finish filming, it's best practice is to review and check the footage to see if it all meets your requirement. If there's anything missing, you have to do it again. And if you do shoot the video on smartphone or camera, it's important to stabilize it, minimize the noise, and set up the light strategically and shoot in high definition mode at least. And now you have all the footage that you want, and we enter the post-production stage. Although lots of video apps, they come with their own editing function, but it's important to use professional editing software whenever you can, because it's just much more sophisticated and have a lot more function to play with. So these ones are Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, etc. There are also some entry-level free video editing solutions you could consider, including Viva Video, Clipping, Vidmux, and FlexClip. Once the video editing is finished, it's really important to select the right music, especially lots of the short video apps is all about the music. And then you can also decide whether or not you need a voiceover to talk through your film or complement what you already have it in the film. So if you do have a voiceover, it's still very important to add subtitles and captions, because you have to think about when do people watch your videos. Many of them actually watch it in silent mode when they're on the train in a very noisy place. So it's important for them to get the message even without listening to the audio. So now you have your shiny, lovely audio. Which platforms should you post your videos? It's really important to take time to understand the popular platforms in China and select the ones that's directly speaking to your desired demographic and suits your marketing strategy. So hopefully today I've helped you with one thing or two in that regard. And once you have the video, you can edit it in various formats to tailor to various platforms. So if you have a long video, you could cut it into short clips. You can just play around, maybe put in a different style. Yeah, it can be used in multiple ways. And you can also share your videos through other social media platforms and on your website. There's a psychology called mere exposure effect. Basically, when people see something, they've got to see it 5 times before they respond to it. And if they see a product or adverts, they've got to see it 20 times before they've got this desire to purchase. So, so it's important to give your video as much exposure as possible. Right, because I talked about long form short video and short form video before, then people probably will have this question: too long or too short videos? This really is a question. Now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each category. So short form video is quite easy and it's quite simply to produce, and people are likely to engage and remember. Also, is very shareable and cost effective. But the cons of short form video can be lack of depth and details, and some of them can be perceived juvenile. And also, when you're doing short form video, you always have to be in the pursuit of innovative ideas, come up, new ideas that will grab the audience, and that can be quite hard as well. Also, it's primarily for mobile phone users and not suitable for all industries and businesses. And long form video, they are usually shot by a professional team, and they give in-depth information about you and your business. It can help ignite emotion, build brand identity and loyalty. If it's pitched to the right audience, and the conversion rate could be quite high as well, because the trust in the message, it can convey and build trust with your audience. And also, you've got different types of video to choose from when you have a long form video. You can have it in sort of documentary format, you can have it animation. There's lots of choices. But the cons are, it's quite time consuming to create, and if it's not engaging enough, you will lose audience attention after a few minutes. Also, it has less social media platforms to disseminate on, and the budget could be higher as well. So to answer this question, to long or to short videos, there really is no right or wrong. So do whatever suits your business the best. And more often than not, the brands or business, they would have both. Right, because we don't have loads and loads of time today, and I like to give you a bit more in-depth knowledge about each platform video. But I cannot, go through but one by one. So I'm going to pick Douyin, because Douyin really is the newest kid in town, and it's the coolest kid. And quite a few clients come to us in recent months, and really interested in get started on Douyin, and ask us, how to do marketing on Douyin. So I'm just going to share a bit more my insights into Douyin with you. So firstly, we need to understand how the algorithm works in Douyin. So basically, it captures the data of how many people watch a video, whether or not they watch it from the beginning to the end. This is quite important in Douyin. How many people like, follow, comment, and forward the videos. So then Douyin uses this data to determine how much they will recommend this video to others. So the video has the initial response. That's really, really good. Douyin will recommend it through quite a few rounds, so that video could achieve viral status. So that's why content really is king here. Each account has the same opportunity to get rival, but you need to have great content. Some small accounts or new accounts with very few followers could get lots of attention if one of the posts can go viral. So based on the recommendation mechanism, one is to create lots of content and post at least 3 times a week to get the exposure and the consistency. And if you're new to Douyin, you can also work with lots of small to medium-sized influencers and leverage their popularity to promote your service and your products. The popular categories on Douyin, I've listed a few, but obviously there's a lot more. So the first category would be sort of trendy and cool, appeal to the younger, like Generation Z or millennials. And this one is called Dao Xiao Dao Summer. So she accumulated about 1 million fans in a week, in the first week when she launched her Douyin account. And the concept is actually very simple. So it's a girl's before and after sort of a transformation. So you can see this plain looking girl, and after she, you know, clip her finger or she flick her hair, she suddenly turned into this very pretty, very cool femme fatale. So this is all about the visual effects and the cool music that's really resonate with the audience. The second category is gourmet cooking. So this is particularly successful during the COVID period when everybody was staying at home and studying recipes. And this one is probably the most famous fried chicken recipe in China because it just generated so much interest. I think it was like almost 5 million views in the short space of time. And third category would be brands that's very good at leveraging KOL collaboration. And this is Michael Kors. Michael Kors is one of the first ones that has a really good collaboration with Douyin, and it's hugely successful in China. And the fourth category is the knowledge sharing. And so many professionals, they use Douyin account to share knowledge in a really fun way, not in a lecturing sort of way. So this is a photographer. He's just really funny, really charming guy, and he shares the knowledge of how to make the best pose and how to make the best of your environment when you take photos. So he's got a significant following as well. And the last one is a little bit unusual, but it's also becoming popular on Douyin. It's mini drama. So this takes a lot more professional effort. And the London Love Story is actually created by our company, and it's only launched about a month or two ago. It is about the love story of a young, successful Chinese lady who lives in London. So it's about her love for the city and what happened in her professional love and in her personal love, in her personal life in the city. And yeah, so we've got 12,000 fans and 35,000 likes in a very short space of time, which is quite a good start. It's encouraging. Right. So now some practical steps how to open the Douyin account. Firstly, you have to remember Douyin is not TikTok. It cannot be downloaded from the App Store or Google Play Store here. You need to have a Chinese mobile phone number to be able to download Douyin. And there are 3 types of accounts on Douyin. The personal account doesn't require verification, and influencer and business accounts, they do. So if you're just looking for mere exposure on your account, personal account really is enough. But if you want to link your e-commerce site to your Douyin account or become an influencer and work with brands, you really need to get verified. And once you have over 3,000 followers, 10 videos, and verified accounts, then you can enable direct link to e-commerce platform. Right. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to share some of my knowledge and expertise in this space. It's a really exciting field, and we feel really excited to be working in this field. We would also like to hear from you and listen to your stories and see if we can help you, make the most of opportunities in this wonderful fast-growing space. Yeah, so these are our contact details. You can follow us, you can contact us through WeChat, LinkedIn, and email, telephone. Also, please log on to our website and check some of the videos we produce. Yes, please drop us a line and get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks very much for attending my webinar. And I wish you every success in the video marketing in China. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Jenny, for that presentation and that wonderful overview of all of the video platforms that are currently in China at the moment, especially Douyin. Really, really interesting stuff. And yeah, I'm very happy to kick off the Q&A just now. I know that we have a couple of prepared questions from some of our members. So just first question for yourself. Mentioned a couple of examples of companies who have been using live streaming or video marketing in China. And I just want to know if you had any other examples of success stories from this, of maybe international or Western brands doing this. Ones that spring to mind are Louis Vuitton doing a live stream, which was very successful, and things like Nike advertisements to me are always really effective as well and very localized. So yeah, do you have any examples which you'd like to share?
Absolutely. The Western brands I've seen experiment the most with this live streaming on Tmall or Taobao. They're fashion and beauty brands, and particularly the larger ones that have dedicated office in China. So I remember L'Oreal last year hosted a full 24-hour live stream for Singles Day sales for the first time. And Estee Lauder hosted daily live streaming campaigns as early as 2 weeks before Singles Day. So viewers can put down like a pre-sale deposit for the limited edition items that could go on sales on Singles Day. And that was hugely successful for Estee Lauder. I think it brought in about more than $140 million of sales, of pre-sales, just on the Singles Day mega sale events alone. So I think that's just really impressive.
Yeah, when you mention these numbers, it's just so difficult to grasp the scale and the revenue. But yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And just another question as well on actually producing content. Would you recommend reusing videos across different platforms? Maybe if you create a longer video, could you reuse that across short video platforms, or what would be your recommendations in terms of producing content?
I think if you cut longer videos into shorter clips and to suit the format of the short video platform, I think that's a really good practice. You know, it's cost saving for brands as well. And but it's important not to put identical content on different platforms. That's just not the done thing. And also because each platform has the very distinctive features, have their targeted demographic. So one works, the content works with one platform, might not work with the other. So it's very important to sort of tailor make, you know, your content.
Absolutely. And our third question as well from our members, just before I go on to our questions in the box. So in terms of content, again, when brands are maybe producing their videos for their China market, would you recommend really putting an effort into localizing this content in terms of maybe translating and trying to be sort of culturally inclusive and things like that? Or what would be your advice for brands looking to localize?
I think you must localize because the cultural difference is huge. A lot of the humor that we get in the West and the Chinese people might not get at all. You know, a lot of things we find is really entertaining, it's hilarious, but they don't feel it. You know, it's vice versa, it's the same. So it's really important to take the time, or if you have somebody in your office, in your company who is already Chinese, so you have to listen. You need to listen to the advice. If you have offices in China, it's so important to tailor whatever your content is to suit the local taste and the local culture in China. For example, some of the celebrities, they just reposted their thing from TikTok to Douyin, or from their Western account, Instagram or something, to Xiaohongshu. And that's not really, many of them just didn't work, you know, because the platform, they want something that's specifically made for them. the audience on that platform. They want to feel connected. They want to feel valued. Yeah, so it's better to do something directly targeting at them.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so just looking in our questions box, I can see that we have one from Jack, and his question is, please can we talk about the platforms Bilibili and Xigua Shipin? I know that we spoke a little bit about this in your presentation, so I think Jack's question is about whether these platforms are monetized. So do they pay their uploaders an amount of money for the amount of views they get? Kind of like YouTube advertising, I guess. I'm curious if Kuaishou also has monetized content, and do they pay their users to upload?
I think Kuaishou works differently than Xigua and Bilibili. Because Xigua and Bilibili, they are more like a long form video. So you can see a lot of similarities between them and YouTube. And paying the user for their user-generated content is definitely one of the main sort of direction, on the platform. And especially Xigua, on the one hand, it's starting to sign deals with licensed TV shows like this BBC and the Moonbug. I mentioned it in the slides earlier. On the other hand, it's also focusing heavily on monetizing the content for the users. So if you have something, if you're a content maker, you stop uploading your stuff on the Xigua video, and if they find you of interest to their audience, and if they see value in you, sometimes they would approach you and say they will even give you subsidies, to help you get better and get bigger. I even heard this website, they can be approaching talents from each other as well. Yeah, I heard about that as well. So definitely, yeah, that's the way to go. So for somebody who like to become an influencer, or here the people call them YouTuber, right? You can definitely do the same thing in the Chinese video platforms. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So interesting. I'm also learning so much about these platforms as well today. And Jack, I think if you have any more questions about these, we can absolutely follow up with Jenny afterwards and put you guys in touch. And I think on that note, we've come to the end of the webinar. It's hitting 10:30, so I think we can wrap up there. And just want to say a massive thank you to Jenny for your time today and for your insights on video marketing in China. I think we all learned a huge amount today, and it was really fantastic. So thank you so much. And thank you as well. Thank you so much. And thank you as well to everybody who tuned in this morning. We have recorded this webinar, so this will be available for you to rewatch again if you so wish on CBBC's YouTube channel. And as always, we will have our follow-up email to this webinar as well. And this will have all of Jenny's contact details. We had our QR code on the screens before, so you can always go back and scan those, but we will also have our email, LinkedIn, and Creatilogic website contact details as well, and follow up if you have any more questions, or if you would like to get the slides from Jenny, we can put you guys in touch. And yeah, thank you so much. We hope to see you next time. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Maxine. Bye-bye.